Hey guys, obviously not the outcome that we were looking for. Didn't do enough of the simple things at a high level to win at the way that we were looking to going into that against a really, really talented team. They were able to make more plays than us. They were able to do the simple things better than us consistently throughout the course of the game. We have to learn from this. We have to grow from this. Obviously, this is a tough obstacle that we will learn from. We will grow from. We'll be better because of it as we move ahead and get back to an East opponent in Ohio on the road again, who would not beat. So we got to grow from this lesson, grow from this challenge, grow from this test, and go forward and go into the bye the right way as we look ahead.
All right, let's open it up for some questions. Let's start with Alan. Can you unmute and ask some questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, obviously, third quarter struggle again. Did you try to do anything different going into this one? Did you say anything at halftime or did you just try to kind of roll into it, see what happens, or what did you do there?
No, and we approached it a little bit differently in practice this week, and to work on that. Obviously, we got to do something again a little bit different. We can't keep doing the same things. That's the definition of insanity. You keep doing the same things over and over, expecting different results. So, we tweaked practice a little bit. Gave them a little bit more during halftime, and we'll assess it. We'll think about it. We got a smart staff. We got great kids, and we'll continue to work through it so that we can start better in the second half and get off the way that we know that we're capable of.
I mean, was there any, when you get that fumble right away in the third quarter and then they go score, did you kind of sense a little bit of the, oh no, here we go again type of thing with this third quarter? Is it kind of getting in your head a little bit, you think, at that point?
No, I think, again, it's just a matter of ball security, something that we preach day in and day out. We had the ball low and loose there. Our wrist was below our elbow. They got great players. 20 did a great job poking it out. And then obviously in that situation, you put your defense in a disadvantage with how fast then they got to go back out and they hit an explosive play. And, so we got to do a better job, again, just of those simple things, the fundamentals, the things that we know that the game requires day in and day out, whether it be ball security, whether it be pad level, whether it be hand placement, in winning in the line of scrimmage, winning in the trenches. I don't think it's a thing with our kids where that's in their head at all. They do a great job in terms of moving on to the next thing and not letting things linger. So we just got to put them in the best positions to be successful. That's on us as a staff. That's on me as the leader of this thing. And we'll put them in the best spots to be successful going forward.
You talk about, one-on-ones a lot and winning one-on-ones. Obviously, you're trying to cover their guys one-on-one. They're very talented receivers. Just kind of talk about their ability to kind of take advantage of those one-on-ones and even with pass interference calls along with the big catches they were able to make.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a really talented crew, knew that they were going to stress us out in a lot of different ways, the way that we like to do to teams as well in terms of the RPO game. And, their kids made some plays tonight. And when our kids did as well, unfortunately, their kids made more plays than our kids. And we got to do a good job as a staff, assessing the position that we're putting them in and continue to go forward so that we're putting them in the best spots and so that we can be successful as we go forward.
What was kind of the feeling after the first half? I mean, they came out and had that huge first quarter, but yet you're sitting there down 6. I mean, what was the thought at that point?
That we did a good job, finding a way to get points, big drive at the end. It's a one possession game. And so the thought is as you go in to keep the main thing, go make corrections, know what's going to be best coming out in the second half and go execute.
Running the ball, stopping the run. I know you talk about that every week, key to win. Obviously, they were able to kind of control both of those aspects of the game. How are they able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, they did a nice job getting the ball on the edge there and did a nice job again with the RPO game. And then in terms of, our inability to run the ball, we kind of got to a point where we were throwing it more, didn't have the balance that we'd like, so again, it just kind of situationally got away from us a little bit there where we got to keep it closer in the critical situations.
Okay. My last one, Coach, just they were able to kind of get some pressure on Dustin, and that might kind of go into what you're saying when you get down, then kind of just pin their ears back. But just that's kind of been what they've done when they're playing well defensively, and they were able to kind of disrupt you guys a little bit today. How were they able to do that?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job early attacking our protection. We did a good job, Coach O.B. and the O-line, adjusting with that, with some of the things that they were doing early on. And I think a lot of the production came late where things kind of got one-sided and they were pinning their ears back. They were eager to get off, on the ball. So because of that, we used some of our double cadence stuff. We were able to get some explosive plays and take advantage of the way that they were teeing off.
All right, let's move.
I'm
on.
good. Thanks, Coach.
Jack from TV2, you have any questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, we mentioned it earlier. They had a lot of big plays both in the run game and in the pass game. Just what do you see from your defense out there, and how do you go forward limiting big plays in the weeks?
Jack, say that again. You kind of broke up on my end.
Oh, sorry. I just said they have big plays both in the run game and the pass game. Just what did you see from your defense out there today that let them get those big plays, and both from their offense? And how do you go about limiting those big plays in the week ahead?
Yeah, we go back to the main thing being the main thing. Our techniques, our fundamentals, our eye discipline, and trusting out those techniques, fundamentals, and eye discipline, and the guys that are around us. Again, without seeing the tape, I don't want to jump to any conclusions on anything, but again, it always comes back to those little things, and the little things over time end up being big things. There is no little things. So we got to just do the little things at a really high level. Again, as coach speak as it is, and as cliche as it is, it's cliche for a reason. We got to do the common things in an uncommon way, especially when you're playing against really talented kids and a really talented team.
There were a lot of pass interference calls today, obviously, and there was one drive at the end of the first half specifically where it seemed like every play was a pass interference call. Just how do you kind of clean up your coverage a little bit, and also kind of make sure your corners and safeties are still allowed to be aggressive against their receivers?
Again, it comes back to trusting technique, knowing that they're going to be in a good spot, and trusting their ability to make the play. And our kids have done a fabulous job of that all year long. I don't want to make too much out of one game, one sample size. Our kids over the long haul, we always assess and we look at, 7 weeks and what they've done, and they've measured up, and we put them in man coverage. They've done a great job. I know they'll do a great job in the future. And Jane, just got to trust their technique, know where they're at, and we'll be just fine.
And then the last one for me, Colin came in, so did Brian Bradford. They played pretty well coming off the bench. Just talk a little bit about what you saw from the second team out there today.
Kids continue to fight. It's a part of who we are. They're going to go harder, longer, no matter what the situation is. They love to play ball. Those kids did that. It was great to see.
And let's wrap things up with James from the Kent State. Any questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach. Something you guys have preached all year is, the mentality. They didn't get any turnovers. What were you seeing from your defense that kind of in that category, and how important is it for you guys to get those turnovers to help turn the game over to you guys?
Yeah, turnovers are always crucial. When you don't win the turnover margin, it's one of the most critical factors in determining who's going to win the game. Again, it comes down to the simple things being done at a high level, and those base fundamentals, and being in the proper spots where you're supposed to be, and then taking advantage and seizing those moments when they present themselves, when we get the opportunity to have our hands on the ball. Again, our guys have done that at a really high level all year long. I know we'll continue to do that in the future. We'll learn from this challenge. We'll learn from this test, and we'll be better because of it as we move forward with the rest of the season.
Third downs were kind of an issue for you guys today on offense. What was going wrong there where you guys couldn't pick up first downs on third downs there?
Yeah, a lot of that stemmed from we fell behind on first and second down. We didn't stay on schedule. So those third downs were some of the long or extra long varieties. And then because of that, you get one-sided. And when you got a talented front that can get their butts a little higher and get a little bit more forward lean, on their hands and their stance to get after the quarterback because of where your limitations are with what your play calls are, that becomes advantage them. So got to do a great job on first and second down. So those third downs become more manageable. And when we were in those manageable down and distances, we were able to convert. We did good things. So we just got to stay on schedule consistently.
All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll do this again on 11:30 on Monday as we get ready for the Ohio Bobcats. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Go Flashes.